he can't say anything because he's one of those guys. Remember, I did that story last week, like, where are all Diddy's friends? Because the silence is deafening.
Will they be shown these tapes?
100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Like during
100%.
He's one of those guys. Remember, I did that story last week, like, where are all Diddy's friends? Because the silence is deafening.
Kutcher, Ashton, Kanye West, and others are also criticizing Diddy, and it is rumored that Ashton Kutcher could soon receive a new subpoena to testify at Diddy's hearing. Let's find out what Diddy has to say to Ashton Kutcher and why celebrities are publicly separating themselves from Diddy.
Ashton and Puffy, or Diddy, have been friends for decades. And they've done movies together, they've hung out together, and he can't say anything because he's one of those guys. Remember, I did that story last week, like, where are all Diddy's friends? Because the silence is deafening. A lot of them don't want people looking into their closet, but Ashton doesn't want the blowback that he got with Danny Masterson.
All right, so pretty tepid in how they reply. Meantime, we're hearing Diddy's ex, Cassie, is cooperating with the feds during this investigation.
100%.
What more is she saying, Paula?
She's not saying anything. So here's the deal. She had sued him for sex trafficking, a bunch of horrible laundry list of stuff. And he settled. It's the one case he settled. It was the first case he settled it. I'm hearing for around $30 million. However, just because you settle a case, you may have an NDA, but if the feds come a knocking, you better answer.
Government, they could subpoena Ashton Kutcher to provide information, right? And that's something we have been wondering. A big talking point is, well, why didn't that you have these federal agents that swarm these properties? Sometimes a raid like that is in conjunction with an indictment and arrest. Here, it's not the case. I'm of the opinion they're still in the evidence gathering phase. They have to process everything that was recovered from the homes, but I also was suspecting that they're issuing subpoenas to a lot of people right now to get a better understanding of what that looks like. And if that's the case, and Ashton Kutcher was issued a subpoena, then no wonder he wouldn't be saying anything about Diddy right now either, right?
Well, that's right. And, let's underline the significance of those raids, okay? We have the Fourth Amendment that says that unreasonable searches and seizures are prohibited in this country. Federal agents can't simply legally barge into someone's home without having persuaded a judge to issue a warrant, to sign off on a warrant application. So, that's, and it's not something that you do early on in an investigation if you don't have enough support to justify a warrant.
In 2020, Ashton's career may have been impacted if he were called to testify against Diddy while attempting to resume acting. Due to the fallout from Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis' support of Danny Masterson, Ashton was forced to leave his firm and nearly went through a divorce. Now that Ashton is linked to Diddy, things are only getting worse for controversial movie stars. In 2020, Danny Masterson faced multiple charges, and Diddy reportedly had several accusations made against him.
More backlash today for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis after their video explaining why they wrote letters of support for convicted rapist Danny Masterson. The actors were criticized for calling their former co-star a role model, among other things. And the consensus is that video didn't help.
We are aware of the pain.
Fierce backlash today for Ashton Kutcher and wife Mila Kunis as they apologize for the character letter calling that 70s show star Danny Masterson an outstanding role model and exceptional older brother figure with a caring nature.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and we're sorry.
One of the women Masterson was sentenced last week of raping, known only as Jane Doe number 1, is slamming their apology. This video was incredibly insulting and hurtful. Chrissy Bixler, another Masterson accuser, blasted Kutcher. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor, referring to Masterson.
That 70s show star Danny Masterson is behind bars and will be for a long time. If you did not hear the news, he was sentenced yesterday for a case, 2 rapes actually, and got 30 years to life. And there are already concerns about his mental state as he has begun serving his time. He was remanded immediately in court, and now police are concerned.
They are watching him. They are watching him very, very closely, and they're not using that word, but they're talking about mental health. They're seeing if there's any signs of distress behind bars. They don't want to happen to him what we've seen happen to other high-profile celebrities.
Ashton's potential request to testify at a recent event in San Diego has caused concern, and every significant celebrity who was affiliated with Diddy is attempting to distance themselves from him or take a break. Will Smith denied ever attending certain alleged parties.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I said, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but. You know, that one, your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
After making a series of controversial statements on social media, Kanye is now siding with Diddy and releasing an exclusive audio call from prison to share what Diddy had to say, even though many others have moved away from him.
That's it.
I know now.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for just taking care of my kids, man. Because ain't nobody reach out to them. Ain't nobody called, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying? That meant so much, you know what I'm saying, that you reached out to them and took them under your wing while I'm in this hospital, man. I appreciate you. Word up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, man. It's like you raised me even when I didn't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel the love, yeah, for real. I feel the love. For real. It means so much to me. This right here is crazy. You be careful out there because they definitely trying to end us, you feel me?
Yeah.
They can't do it. They can't do it. They ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat this and get next season.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise our families and become the kings that we're supposed to be, you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But words can't explain how much it means to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like being left for dead, and only one person coming to do anything to get you. And that's the level of appreciation that I have for you.
Following the accusations, Masterson's character Rooster was written off by Netflix.
Any comment?
Over 5 years after Danny Masterson's allegations surfaced, his former That 70s Show co-star Ashton Kutcher breaks his silence. The actor opens up to Esquire. In short, it's complicated. Kutcher wants Masterson to be found innocent of the charges brought against him, but at the same time doesn't want his friend to get off the hook. Quote, I wholesale feel for anybody who feels like they were violated in any way. In 2017, Masterson was hit with multiple sexual accusations, which he denied. At the time, he and Kutcher were co-stars on another sitcom, The Ranch.
What are you talking about? When you sit with your friends and you know when their sentences are about to end.
In the wake of the allegations, Netflix fired Masterson. His character Rooster written off.
So you got two choices. Either take that bag and disappear, or you could just disappear.
In 2020, he was charged with sexually assaulting 3 women between 2001 and 2003. As Kutcher sees it, ultimately, I can't know. I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, I'm not the DA, I'm not the victim. and I'm not the accused. With that in mind, Kutcher concludes, I don't have a space to comment, I just don't know.
Ashton Kutcher's life has been increasingly complicated since 2019. He was allegedly connected to a high-profile case involving a woman he was supposed to meet for a date. When he arrived, he noticed something unusual but did not report it. According to Ashton, he didn't learn of the incident until much later.
Hey! Oh my gosh, it's so raw!
So good. You're doing so good.
I just want to say, everyone will suffer. Do you remember worrying?
Something after party tonight. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment. So it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punk. Because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me. I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together.
According to reports, Ashton founded Thorn in an attempt to redirect attention from past controversies. However, some critics question the motives behind the move.
What about Ashton Kutcher? Because Ashton Kutcher, who I believe could possibly just as bad. Ashton Kutcher as well, listen, he's not guilty of this, but he arranged a date. He was late for that date. And when he got to the girl's house, he looked through the window. She was stabbed 47 times. The man ended up getting charged. But Ashton Kutcher was also involved with Abercrombie and Fitch. I think it's Mr. Jeffries who's just been done for trafficking. Ashton Kutcher was also friends with Brittany Murphy, who also was friends with P. Diddy, who also died the same death as Kim Porter. Now, Ashton Kutcher as well also runs a child protection thing, I think it's called Thorn, where he's trying to save children. But we know now a lot of these people use this thing for child to actually not expose it, but to gain from their own benefit. He was also married to Demi Moore, and there was a video of Demi Moore kissing a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old boy. I just feel as if there's a lot of darkness around these people. I feel as if they feel as if they're untouchable. I genuinely think he could be next Ashton Kutcher. Am I wrong here, or could this be right?
Her name was Ashley Ellerin, and they were actually going on a date the night that she was found dead. Ashton Kutcher told the court that he screwed up on the night that his girlfriend was horrifically murdered. He told the judge that he was freaking out after learning that Ashley was butchered the same evening they were due to go on a date. Ashton even saw his date's blood splattered on the carpet, which he put down to a red wine stain when he was looking through the window trying to check if she was home, because her car was there, the lights were on, yet she wasn't answering the door. Ashley was a fashion student, and she actually met Ashton at a Christmas party, but at that point he was in a relationship. Once he became single, he called her up and asked her to go out, because Danny Masterson's accuser details an alleged call with Ashton Kutcher the night his date was murdered. Chrissy wrote in a statement on Instagram, "Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that will end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speaker that night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I heard everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your..." And that was the day that Ashley lost her life. So why did Ashton call Danny, and what did he have to tell him?
This guy, Michael, the serial killer, was able to go do it again because the cops weren't able to actually process the case because they knew Ashton Kutcher was indeed lying. So what was he lying about? Well, here's Chrissy Bixler coming in, who was dating Danny Masterson at the time. "Dear Ashton, know your secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone the night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I heard everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor." Now, what was this plan? Yes, he was in his car for over an hour outside of Ashley's house, speaking with his manager about what to do to protect Ashton's career and reputation. He then called Danny. I heard the entire conversation. Law enforcement was and is aware that what I'm saying is true.
Diddy is aware that Ashton was about to leave the spotlight as well until Diddy's call from prison surfaced. Since then, several celebrities have either left the US or are considering relocating abroad to avoid becoming entangled in the ongoing case.
Rumors then began to swirl that the actor and his wife might be heading towards a breakup. However, a source slammed the split speculation, telling People Wednesday this is absolutely ridiculous and false. Meanwhile, another source appeared to clarify to the outlet about Ashton and the rapper's bond, saying, Ashton has no involvement in any of this. He doesn't belong in this conversation about Diddy. Ashton has only seen Diddy in a handful of social and business events, all of which have been documented by the media. Diddy was arrested last week in New York on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He pleaded not guilty but was denied bail.
Diddy was allegedly attempting to get in touch with witnesses, and anyone he knew might be called to testify against him. Prosecutors asserted that call logs from the Metropolitan Detention Center showed Diddy was in communication with potential witnesses and may have attempted to influence them. It is highly probable that he also reached out to Ashton.
My day job is as the chairman and the co-founder of Thorn. We build software to fight human trafficking and the sexual exploitation of children. That's our core mission. My other day job is that of the father of two, a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old. And as part of that job that I take very seriously, I believe that it is my effort to defend their right to pursue happiness and to ensure a society and government that defends it as well. But the right to pursue happiness for so many is stripped away. It's ripped. It's abused. It's taken by force, fraud, or coercion. It is sold for the momentary happiness of another. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play.
Even though Diddy has lost support from many, Kanye West has stood by him. Kanye claims Diddy is being targeted unfairly and states he will continue to support him.
You think I wasn't gonna get at you from the inside?
He has reached out to a witness, an alleged participant in multiple freak-offs.
Then why Oprah staying quiet? Why Ellen moving to another country?
And he's asking people to intimidate witnesses or pay people off.
Don't be shocked if nobody show up to testify. Don't contact me anymore, pup. I already got that Houston lawyer breathing down my neck over that 13-year-old girl. If you don't want things to get worse for you, then you need to start answering my son's phone call.
The defendant's goal is to blackmail victims and witnesses either into silence or providing testimony helpful to his defense.
New York is having a problem with leaks in this Diddy case, with alleged video of the court hearings already on the internet and leaked phone calls where he's calling witnesses. Things are getting out of control and you won't believe what he says on these calls. Recently, the DA released that Diddy was contacting witnesses from jail and they were saying this is the reason that he shouldn't get bail. He was using other inmates' phone calls to three-way people who would then call the witnesses, and that's who he spoke to over the phone. Also, in a weird turn of events, the DA who brought these charges against Diddy is suddenly resigning from his position during the biggest case of his career, and that is strange. So let's break down this insane phone call that we found online. Legal disclaimer, people, I'm just a guy that reacts to stuff I find on the internet. So as of right now, everything is rumors, gossip, or opinions of others. Everything in this video is just alleged.
Ellen DeGeneres is saying goodbye to the USA. Multiple outlets are reporting that the comedian and wife Portia de Rossi are bidding farewell to the United States and are moving across the pond to rural England. Reports say the couple was driven to their decision after the election of Donald Trump, though had put the wheels in motion prior to Election Day. Ellen previously voiced her support for Kamala Harris on Instagram, posting back in August, "There's nothing more powerful than a woman whose time has come. I can't wait for Kamala Harris to be our next president." Ellen and Portia are said to be getting ready to put their primary residence on the market. The home is in Montecito, California, and the two purchased the estate back in 2019. The stand-up comedian previously opened up about being, quote, kicked out of Hollywood during a recent Netflix special, referencing the toxic workplace allegations that dogged her daytime talk show prior to her exit from TV.
Ashton Kutcher is receiving a lot of public criticism. With prosecutors tightening their hold and new testimony approaching, this case is far from over. Do you think Ashton will testify or try to avoid the spotlight? What's next for Diddy as the pressure mounts? Please share your thoughts in the comments and remember to like and subscribe for more updates. Diddy is reportedly trying to conceal evidence, and celebrities all over the world are distancing themselves before it's too late.